Roads are getting more congested and people are getting angrier. Sometimes these two things can result in crashes, especially between drivers, cyclists, or even pedestrians. So now Ford is testing out a program that teaches drivers about empathy. It's happening right now in Europe. The program is called Wheel Swap. It uses virtual reality to show drivers what it's like for someone else with less space on the road. It'll put people in situations where drivers use the opposite lane to pass someone too closely, or when drivers change lanes without signaling and opening car doors without checking for bikes. Out of all the people who have gone through this program, 70% say that they feel more empathy for cyclists. And 60% of them actually change their driving behavior within 2 weeks of going through training. Now, we don't have access to Wheel Swap in the U.S. right now, but drivers ed experts stress two things. First, empathy is already taught in driving school, but in a different way. And second, we're not all trying to be bad drivers, but we do act differently when we're behind the wheel.
And we don't have the normal interaction we have with other people. We don't see people's faces. We can't see their expressions. So we don't, we only see what their vehicle is doing. And quite often we will, if we see someone make a mistake on the road or make a poor decision, we will often assign the worst motives to them.
In the U.S., cyclist deaths have tripled since 1975, according to Ford. Well, talk of a possible recession is bringing bad memories for those hit by the last financial crisis. But a man we talked with who's been helping people find work for nearly 40 years thinks we have a bigger issue to worry about. Monday, what he says needs to change in our workforce.
Most of us are going to stay dry this evening, but Storm Team 6 radar does show where we've had a few of these downpours popping up across portions of Greene County, also now stretching closer to Spencer in Owen County. Just an isolated chance for a shower this evening, an isolated rumble of thunder in there as well. But that's not the only rain chance as we go through the weekend. Dry on Saturday, 87 will be your high. Then that increasing chance for showers and storms Sunday evening. Thanks for joining us for the Now Indy. The news at 6 o'clock starts right now.
An Indianapolis woman fell off a scooter like this one, and now she's filed a federal lawsuit saying the scooters are defective and unstable. I'm Kara Kenny with what she wants you to know.
It's all about response time. It's all about being able to get to the people.
Stop trains blocking traffic and first responders. A community trying to solve the issue so no one pays the price.
And a hefty price to pay for the city after two off-duty IMPD officers are involved in a fight.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
My head hit the road when I was thrown out of the off of the scooter.
An Indianapolis woman says her life will never be the same after falling off an electric scooter.
Paula Spear says she suffered a traumatic brain injury after she says she was thrown from a Lime scooter. The woman who filed a federal lawsuit this week is talking to RTV6's Kara Kenny.
Kara is working for you and digging into potential safety issues with the scooters.
Electronic scooters are a way to get around Indianapolis quickly, but according to a lawsuit just filed in federal court, some say these scooters are defective and unstable.
No, I don't have any memory of it, but I know what happened.
Paula Spear was riding a Lime scooter on June 14th. She was sharing it with friends and not wearing a helmet. She says she tried to brake the rapidly accelerating scooter when she was thrown forward and onto the pavement. Paula says she hit her head and suffered a traumatic brain injury. She can't read or drive and goes to physical and speech therapy several times a week. Paula, her husband Leonard, and their attorney filed a federal lawsuit on September 19th against Lime's operator and manufacturer, Neutron Holdings, Ninebot, and Segway. They allege the scooters are defective because they're unstable and the accelerator sticks, and that the companies failed to label the scooter with warnings.
We thought that the lawsuit was a good idea because it could maybe help someone to know the danger for something that's common in the city. I don't think it's well enough researched, or like where you can drive, how you can drive. I don't think people are aware enough about the dangers.
Mrs. Spear did not sign the user agreement, so that is among the reasons why that's not going to prevent this lawsuit. in addition to that, we've sued not only Lime, which is Neutron Holdings, we've sued the manufacturer of these scooters because these scooters are inherently dangerous. They know that when they put it in the stream of commerce.
The Spears are asking a federal judge to issue a judgment to compensate them for the injuries and other damages they've experienced. Neutron has deployed scooters in cities throughout Indiana, including Bloomington, Elkhart, and South Bend.
Their business model, I think it's flawed because of the simple fact they don't let you know that you can have an accident on this vehicle. They don't provide helmets at all.
We reached out to Lime for comment, and they say while they can't comment on pending litigation, they say the safety of riders and the community is their highest priority. Reporting in Indianapolis, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Thanks, Kara. And Indianapolis Metro Police has issued several PSAs regarding how to properly ride a scooter, including that riders should wear a helmet and ride in the street, not on a sidewalk. The Lime user agreement also says users should wear helmets at all times.
An IMPD lieutenant is charged after investigators say he stole a gold coin from a police property room. Lieutenant George Crooks is a 31-year-old veteran of the department and a former member of the Marion County Sheriff's Department. He's a 31-year veteran, with the department IMPD. Well, tonight he is suspended without pay and recommended for termination by IMPD Chief Brian Roach. Crooks is accused of entering the IMPD property room and swapping out a gold coin with a $20 bill from his pocket last year. The coin was seized by IMPD in a different investigation. He's charged with theft and official misconduct. In 2010, Crooks was demoted after the fatal crash involving former officer David Bassard. At the time, Crooks was the head of the fatal alcohol crash team. Chief Roach released a statement that says, in part, the men and women of IMPD remain committed to upholding the policies, values, and mission of the IMPD. It is our goal that this expectation is reflected through legitimacy and trust built between our officers and the community we serve. An Indianapolis man involved in a fight with two off-duty Metro Police officers 5 years ago has been awarded more than $1 million from a federal jury. Bradford Bohannon sued the two former officers and the city of Indianapolis in 2017 in federal court after the officers were found not guilty in a criminal trial. Neither officer is currently with IMPD. The jury found that the two officers' use of force was caused by Indianapolis's policies, and Bohannon was awarded $1.2 million from the city. An IMPD spokesperson said the department has been updating its policies over the past few years to make sure appropriate action is taken.
We are following breaking news tonight from the city's northwest side. Metro Police are investigating the discovery of a woman's body in a neighborhood retention pond near 56 and Georgetown. This is in the 4600 block of Kimmeridge Lane. Right now, IMPD is calling this a death investigation. And tonight, RTV6 is working for you and digging into a problem that is delaying ambulances, firefighters, and police responding to emergencies when seconds count, and also making it tough to get kids to school on time. Trains are stopping in Muncie and blocking busy intersections for long periods of time. RTV6's Stephanie Wade is in Muncie looking into why trains are stopping and how this could impact you.
This sign will warn you. You might be stuck waiting for trains to pass at this railroad crossing, saying that trains' frequency is increasing. Drivers understand that, but what they don't understand is why they find themselves waiting for trains that are completely stopped, blocking this intersection. Everyone seems to be feeling the frustration.
It's a huge disturbance for people trying to get to work, people trying to do different things throughout their daily life. But for us, it could be life or death.
First responders are having to find alternate routes in emergencies.
If you're having a heart attack, stroke, or something of that sort, it's just a huge problem for us.
And even school buses are getting stuck at railroad crossings.
How often are buses late because of the stopped trains?
Well, I would say several times each week.
Bus drivers having to notify principals regularly so teachers can make adjustments for their students.
Can they just stop before they get to can you stop right there?
And then there's these two women who work at the McDonald's near Tillotson and McAlliard.
We have a 9 o'clock, a 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and a 4 o'clock.
And they're all stopped?
They're all stopped every time.
Every single day, they say a train stops and blocks customers from getting in and out of here.
We're talking about hour.
At least an hour to two, sometimes two.
Indeed.
All feel no solution in sight.
It's unbelievable that they're able to do that, but they are the railroad.
I reached out to both CSX and Norfolk Southern Railways, which operate in Muncie. CSX says reported issues on streets like McGalliard, Tillotson, Batavia, White River Boulevard, and Walnut are mostly Norfolk Southern Railroad crossings, and they're unaware of any ongoing blocked crossing issues. Norfolk has yet to get back to me, so we don't know why the trains are stopping, but the city says they're looking into writing tickets to these companies to get them to move.
Surely they can do something.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Thanks, Steph. And because of this issue, the Muncie Fire Department is now placing 3 ambulances in areas impacted most by the stop trains. Ambulances are being added to fire stations on Hoyt, MLK, and 12th Street.
Another traffic alert tonight so you won't get caught off guard during your Monday morning commute. Monday morning at 4 o'clock, NDOT will close the Meridian Street ramps from I-70 downtown. The ramp closures include I-70 westbound and eastbound to Meridian and Meridian Street to I-70 westbound and eastbound. The closures will remain through Friday at 6 a.m. Contractors will be repairing winter damage and strengthening those ramps. Honda is making another big investment in Indiana. What it means for workers and the cars you'll see on the road.
Plus, we'll meet a woman hoping to lure an offer from the Sharks on ABC's Shark Tank. How a dream inspired the product she hopes they'll invest in.
On this Friday, we are in Mooresville, week 5 of the high school football season. The Pioneers are the #1 team in Class 4A. They're looking for a breakthrough win tonight on homecoming against Decatur Central. We'll get you set for that one coming up on the news at 6.
And our rain chances are set to return this weekend, bringing a welcome drink of water to the lawns. I'll let you know when that wet weather, though, could impact your weekend plans. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
Only at Bob's Discount Furniture.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Well, Indiana's jobless rate fell for the 3rd straight month in August. The Department of Workforce Development reported today the rate for August was 3.3%, down from 3.4% in July. About 2,100 residents found jobs in August. Our rate is lower than the national average and the lowest among our neighboring states. Honda will be adding jobs and investing more than $4 million in its Greensburg plant. Honda has chosen the Greensburg plant to produce its new CR-V Hybrid. The 2020 CR-V Hybrid is the first electrified SUV from the Honda brand in America. The company will invest $4.2 million and add 43 jobs to support production of the new vehicle. Honda also produces the CR-V and the Insight Hybrid sedan at that plant.
Hiring Hoosiers shows you many paths you can take to connect with jobs and training programs, and Shark Tank premieres a week from Sunday on RTV6. And you can see some local Hoosier entrepreneurs pitching their ideas. I met a woman from Plainfield who hopes she can pull in a shark for her patent product, the Dream Fish Hook Lure.
I was like, wow, Shark Tank's going to be here.
Meredith Hughes was one of hundreds of Hoosiers hoping to reel in a catch at the Shark Tank open call at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
When they were coming here, I thought, man, they're coming to Indianapolis. I was just so thrilled.
With a few weeks' notice, this 72-year-old was ready to jump into the tank.
Those 3 weeks, I was just like, you know.
Meredith's product is the Dream Fish Hook Lure. Although she is the one creating it, she says the idea came from someone else, her dad.
It was in 1998. And 2 months after he passed away, he woke me up in a dream. I got up and went to the table and drew that exactly as he told me.
She has fond memories of her father, a World War II veteran, Butler grad, and her favorite memory.
He was quite a fisherman. He took me fishing all the time. He was always talking about the worms, and he said if I could just figure out how to get a fish without them eating the worm and getting away. So that's where this dream came from.
The Indianapolis native grew up fishing with her family on Geist Reservoir.
They were all little alcoves and coves and everything, and there was nothing on them. So we'd switch from one to the other and fish from each one to find out which one had the best fish biting.
Her lure is specially designed to attract and keep the fish on the line in the ocean or fresh water. Meredith got a utility patent for it in 2006.
I had to find more brass football-shaped fishing heads. That is the one of the key components of my father's dream and the lure, because it enables the lure to wobble more in the water.
Helping Meredith make her dream lure a reality are her sons, one a police officer, the other a machinist and welder. They work together as a family in his garage.
My oldest son, George, knew that I was going to audition for Shark Tank, and he said, well, Mom, if you don't make Shark Tank, we're still going to make it.
Meredith wants her products made in the USA and for part of her profits to go to clean water organizations.
What I would dream of happening is that, people would enjoy fishing with it, have good luck fishing with it, be proud their parts are all made in USA and there's no lead. This fishing lure is a Cadillac, I think, of fishing lures. It's just really, really dear to my heart.
And the lure is not on store shelves yet. She is hoping to save up for more advanced tools to help with their production. You can see if her dream fish hook lure made the cut from the open call Shark Tank hosted this summer at IMS. Tune in for the season premiere of Shark Tank next Sunday, September 29th at 9 p.m. only on RTV6. Another way to prepare for a career starts in the classroom. High school students in Newcastle are learning to clean more than just their rooms in the facility maintenance program. At the Newcastle Career Center, students do routine care and maintenance work for the school and businesses in the community. They focus on things like advanced floor care, hotel care, and kitchen assistance. They also learn safety practices when working with various chemicals and processes used to clean. This is an inclusive course where students with special needs can also participate. Instructors and students say that this is setting up all students in the program for a career in facility maintenance after graduation.
They go to school here and then they leave here and they work in the community. So, I think it's important that we do everything we can to kind of give them the skills they need and the opportunities to, to succeed.
I feel really accomplished. I feel like I'm actually doing something good that will help make this school look like it deserves to be here.
Students in this program can pursue careers in professional cleaning, housekeeping, and janitorial maintenance. Kyle.
Oh, the summer season, it is starting to wind down here, and so is our stretch of 80-degree warmth, but we still have those 80s out there this afternoon and this evening. 85 right now in Indy, 84 in Kokomo, and lower 80s for you in Bloomington with quite a bit of sunshine around the area. Now, we have had a few of those cumulus clouds building up into some isolated downpours, really focused south and west of Indianapolis. You can see a little more lightning now around the Spencer area crossing 231. We've had some downpours in Bloomfield, much of Greene County, and we'll see a few more of these bubbling up, but most areas are going to be staying dry this evening with our temperature 80 degrees for you at 8 o'clock. We'll slide back through the 70s with partly cloudy skies and a light southwest wind tonight. Now tomorrow going to be a little more breezy here, especially as we get into the afternoon. That southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. That's going to allow those temperatures to jump rather quickly. Lower 80s already for the lunch hour, and as we get into the afternoon, middle to upper 80s. Once again, you'll find that high 88 in Bloomington, 86 in Muncie, and 87 in Indy. It will feel a couple degrees warmer, much like today, though, because we're still going to have a bit of that humidity in the air. Things aren't really going to change until we get into the second half of the weekend. So dry on Saturday, and really much of Sunday is going to be dry as well. If you're going to be heading out and tailgating ahead of the Colts game, 75 degrees there mid-morning on Sunday, 81 as we get to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll have that south wind even a little bit stronger there, 10 to 20 miles per hour. That's ahead of that next weather system and front that's going to be moving through, so that'll allow temperatures once again to make their way into the 80s. That might be the last day, though, in that stretch, because as we get into Sunday evening, that's where we've got that chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms. And right now, there is a marginal risk for central and southern portions of the state Sunday afternoon and evening that some of those storms that move through could have some gusty winds in addition to the heavy rainfall. So here's TrueCast for you. This is 2:30 Sunday afternoon. We increase the clouds, but the rain is still off to the north and west. As we get to 10 o'clock Sunday night, that's when we start to see more of that rain building in. So overall, the daylight hours looks like they're going to be dry here for the upcoming weekend, and then we'll slowly see that line of thunderstorms moving out here, I think, pretty early in the morning hours of Monday. So much of Monday is going to be dry, and it's also going to be cooler as fall officially arrives. In the 7-day planning forecast, we'll go from those highs in the mid to upper 80s here Saturday and Sunday to 76 Monday afternoon, 77 on Tuesday. That's actually after starting off the day in the 50s. So a little more seasonal for next week. It does warm up, though. By Friday, we're back in the 80s.
Not letting go yet?
Not quite.
Thank you, Kyle, for that. Well, looks like the weather will cooperate tonight for another action-packed night of Friday football frenzy.
Brad Brown is live at Mooresville High School, where it is homecoming for the Pioneers. Hey, Brad.
Mark and Amanda, it depends how you say cooperate with the weather. If you're playing out here, it's still in the mid-80s. These guys are going to sweat themselves through this thing tonight. The fans in the stand zone, the rest of us, we still got shorts on. We're enjoying it here. It'll be cold enough soon enough. We'll get to that. Mooresville, Decatur Central tonight. The Pioneers are #1 in Class 4A. And as we take a look around the state right now, Central Indiana is loaded with #1 teams as we come here to Week 5 of the season. Avon in Class 6A, New Pal in 5A, Mooresville here, West Lafayette's ranked #1 in 3A. By the way, Bishop Chatard is #2. And then Cecina and Lutheran in 2A and 1A. Of course, all those teams will be in action here tonight. But our focus on this one is Mooresville taking on Decatur Central. Pioneers head coach Mike Gillen joining us here on the news at 6. A 4-0 start for your team again this season. What's different about this group than it was with the 4-0 a year ago?
Well, when you look at 3 years ago when we were 0-8 or 0-4 at this time, it's just been a great experience for me and my staff, and of course the kids have bought in, and that's what it's all about. Kids buying into the program in season out. And we're excited to be 4-0, but we sure got a tough task tonight.
The time that your guys put in before you even get to Week 1. Kind of talk about the dedication these guys have shown.
Well, our off-season program led by Craig Ray in our weight room and conditioning is second to none. I got to give him as much credit as anybody we got, including myself, because our kids are in really good shape. You won't see too many kids getting out with cramps tonight, even as hot as it is. We don't have too many going both ways, but I'll promise you, our kids will compete, and it's because of Craig Ray and our conditioning program.
Your ties to Decatur Central run deep and way back. How is this game for you each year? It's just a lot going on here.
It really is. It's an emotional thing for me because, I played for Decatur back in 1967, 68, 69. And, of course, DeVere Fair, my high school football coach, is one of my best people I've ever known in my life. Big factor with me. And, we had some good times back then. And I got the pleasure of coaching there for 11 years. And so I got lots of ties back there. But I'm a Pioneer at heart right now, and we're here to play.
You got a good group, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here.
Mike Gillen, head coach of the Mooresville Pioneers. They're looking for 4-0, going to 5-0 here tonight. Let's take a look at some of the other games here, specifically involving those #1 teams that we were talking about here tonight. It'll be Mooresville at home here tonight. And all the rest of them are home. New Pal, Avon, Cecina, Lutheran as well. We'll have a recap of all these for you coming up tonight on the news at 11. Headline out of Colts practice today, Darius Leonard and Jabal Sheard will both miss Sunday's game. Leonard did not clear concussion protocol, and for Sheard, it's a knee injury. Bobby Okereke will move up on the depth chart. First big test for the rookie, and Marlon Mack listed as questionable. He did work out on the field today. Colts Falcons, 1 o'clock at Lucas Oil Stadium on Sunday. Practice at Laguna Seca, the IndyCar Series final weekend of the 2019 season. One of the rookies was fastest early. Colton Herta took the top time ahead of 2 more rookies in Felix Rosenquist and Santino Ferrucci. They're actually just wrapping up practice session #2. Dave First will talk with Colton Herta for us coming up tonight on the news at 11. All right, we broke a little sweat the span of 3 minutes out here. We're going to cool off for just a minute, but some great action coming up for you. We'll have those highlights for you at 11. Time for a final break. We'll be back to the studio with one more look at that forecast and the rest of tonight's news at 6 next.
That's why the milk is so fresh at Meijer.
Summer in the city. See some of that hazy sunshine out there this afternoon. Downpour is going to stay very isolated, so maybe you and your best friend heading out for an evening walk. We got some pretty nice weather for it. Just make sure you take a little extra water for them to stay hydrated. Temperatures still in the 80s through 8 o'clock here. We'll be into the mid-70s at 11. 7-day planning forecast as we take you through that last weekend of summer. 87 on Saturday. Going to be a dry day there. Much of Sunday's dry too at 86 before those evening showers and thunderstorms, and that brings in a big temperature change. Highs in the 70s.
I'm sure little Leo is ready for a walk right about now.
Yeah, and I'm ready for an iced pumpkin spice latte.
We'll see you back here at 7 o'clock. World News is next.